Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night Chronicle. I'm the Ravenous Archon. My name is Will, and I'll be your storyteller this evening. Last we left off with our Camarilla crew, we got to see a little bit of Carl going up to Portland to show us the ramifications of what happened when our Anarch coterie got let loose in a different city, and the things that happened in Portland, helping out with reestablishing some of the wards that were destroyed around the downtown area. He got to see a little bit of the Beyond venue, the Bean venue, which is the Prince's Elysium up in downtown Portland. Earned himself a minor boon from the Tremere Primogen up in Portland for helping out. And on the way back to Salem, we got to see him and Tremere Thompson, the Primogen, pull up and see the destruction that happened at the Red Eye Lounge. And after a little bit of detective work and getting to see that Kathy and Ivory also pulled up around the same time, the Tremere Primogen kind of nodded after having taken mental notes about the situation and left Carl with his coterie members. They did their own investigation. Carl found, invoked a couple of visions, which can be very dangerous with Auspex. But he did learn that somebody threw a Molotov cocktail at the bar, and that they had a M1 Garand tattoo on their arm with the Roman numeral 12, and a bit of a pinky ring with a rugged hand. They also managed to find a dumpster where a ritual of destruction had been performed on it with some blood sorcery, but was losing potency extremely quickly as the kind of threads of magic that had tied everything together were unraveling. After they exchanged informations and made a new plan, they ended up trying to call John Coulson with the number that Carl had been given to reach out to him, and learned that it was for a Gunther storage right there in West Salem. They ended up heading down after leaving a message that he wanted him to reach out to him. And as they got there, Kathy, doing what Kathy does, decided to split up from the group. And with a bad roll, ended up pulling on her clan's compulsion as she vaulted the fence and headed into the containers that make up the storage facility itself, while Ivory and Carl went inside, got to speak to Gunther himself, but noticed Manny Garza kind of hiding in a corner, who then directed them upstairs, and we got to see them coming into Otis King's first actual base of operations in West Salem when they were given domain here by Geraldine Birmingham. And this is where we're going to pick up with everybody. Kathy is off to the side doing Kathy things as she does. But Otis and his coterie are in, like I described last time, a smaller office. The music is still playing. It's much softer. It's a different atmosphere here. But he looks up. Coulson looks up. Dimitri kind of looks up, sees your group, and then just kind of shrugs and goes back to what he was doing with his raccoon. But Manny kind of plops down on the sofa, pulls out his Ziploc bag, and starts to eat some part of a kidney or a spleen. Who knows? But you'll see John Coulson just kind of look down at one of his papers and then just crumple it and throw it in the trash as he smiles. Well, I guess I won't be needing to follow up on that message. Thank you, Mr. Keller. But Otis does kind of look at the group. I hope you're not here for favors. I'm kind of short on them right now.
I guess so.
What can I do for you guys?
What was the reason they were coming here originally? I don't remember now. That was a while ago.
Good question. Uh,
We were trying to get some information. We were trying to get some information about what's her face coming to you. We were also
Yeah.
pretty sure. And then when we went to go find Edwin Tulip and what was going on, because we had some rumors with what's his face, the guy, the vampire that jumped out. Rawr!
Oh, Alfred.
Yes. So we wanted to talk to him about that because he was supposedly like that whole thing exchange and why the sheriff was involved in that.
Alfred Beckett, yeah.
So
Okay.
that's why we were
Not favors exactly, more information, but we were a little surprised.
Information I can give you freely. Everything else is kind of on a.
And just to touch base, it's been a while.
Well, somebody touched base violently, but we've been pushed back into a corner, as it seems. So at least I'm not the only one suffering. I've heard about the bishop pushing out of Kaiser, so I know you've got your issues over there. So
we hear. There have been a few things going on. But I did have an interesting visitor.
Okay.
Miss Yvette Morrison?
Oh, did you?
Yes, she wanted my support to be Primogen for you.
That's my girl.
That's a curveball. Did you give it to her?
I did not.
Noted.
We,
It would have been strange. Melvin did have nice things to say about you.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. But, so you're not considering her?
She was on the list, if I'm being frank with you. But I don't know
Fair.
her any better than I know you. But Melvin knows, so I trust his judgment.
All right. I just found it a little strange.
I get it.
And I don't exactly like her methods.
From what I've understood, she was the main force behind the Anarch movement here in the city back when Geraldine was prince. I
Yes.
did not have too many interactions with her, since a lot of my frustrations were directed at Hyde and his Primogen position, and dealing with Marcucci. I was stretched, so I didn't really have a lot of interactions with her. She didn't seem like a baron that was a threat to me in particular. I think she just wanted to give Geraldine a run for her money.
Anything that she would do, it would be behind the scenes. It would not be overt.
Okay. You'll have to forgive me. The only Toreador that I've had to go to town, go toe to toe with, as it were, is Garter, and he's been discreet about things.
Fair. Finally got to meet him.
Oh, is he everything the scumbag that I described to you?
Pretty much.
I heard he's carrying around his old pistol.
Yes, he seems very agitated.
Good. Fuck him.
Yes, him and his buddy Hyde do seem to be running a little scared.
Coin? Oh.
Well, that too, but running a little scared.
I hope it is only because Mr. Reynolds is giving them something to be scared about.
Yes, him now back with the Sabbat.
And he'll grab a newspaper, one of the West Salem local chapters, and he'll get up and hand it to you. You hear about this?
What is it?
It is not front page news, but it is third or fourth page. The vagabond was robbed and what's it called? Vandalized.
What is the vagabond?
The vagabond is a Tremere Primogen's seat of power. It is it is where he does business and where he meets with people. It's also up in Hayesville near Kaiser.
She glances over at Carl. I had not.
There you go.
You think this is Sabbat?
I think it's definitely them. If it matches the information that I've gotten about them pushing out into northern Lancaster and into Highland. So last I checked, the vagabond was on the border, if not near enough to Kaiser to have been struck at. I'm surprised it's taken this long.
Yes. So on our way here, we did stop by the Red Eye Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
And
so it's seen better days.
And we noticed a few things. I don't know if, you may already know it all. I don't know.
Well, what do you know? And I'll verify whether we found the same bits of information as you did.
I think Carl here actually got most of it, so.
And at that, John Coulson will stand up and come over and stand next to Otis. Do tell. Please, share.
Alright. So we found, tell them about the vision that I had about from the evidence of the Molotov cocktail and how there was absolutely no actual evidence in the real world because it had been destroyed, undone, as it were.
He's nodding the whole time.
Yeah. They found out nearby, and tell Coulson was the ritual destruction, or a ritual destruction on a garbage bin, an incinerator almost.
Yes. A personal achievement that I was proud of. It's going to be difficult to recreate it here, as there's a lot more eyes this close to the bridge here.
So that was your work?
Mine and Mr. Givens, yes. We created the ritual together. Anything else that you find, or?
Yeah, and you're going to tell them about the tattoo, the hand, basically describe the hand, that to the Molotov cocktail. The hand with the tattoo of the Roman numeral 12, it was rough. A rough-looking hand, pinky ring, all that.
Yes. I caught the pinky ring. I caught the semblances of a tattoo. I did not see the Roman numeral 12. That's a nice addition. I'll definitely shorten the list of candidates that I had being worked on. I appreciate the information. And he'll go back over to his desk. At this point, Otis kind of looks up at you. He's like, very well. Since you gave me something good to work on, let me ask you this. How close are you to your what's her name? And Manny goes, Kathy. Talking about Kathy? And he's like, yes. How close are you to your Nosferatu?
Well, she's living with me.
So you would know.
She's outside somewhere.
Okay. But you would know if anything strange or unusual was taking place with her, yeah?
Like, I mean, we live in the strange and unusual.
Yeah. Yeah. It's come to my attention that Hyde has a Nosferatu in his pocket. Someone that didn't come over with the rest of the clan.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
no.
I didn't think it was her, but just I had to cover my
No.
bases.
Yeah,
She doesn't have
no,
that kind
she
of
hates him. And
Yeah.
it's real.
All right. I had gotten
Yeah,
that kind of
there's a visceral hatred.
yeah, I had gotten that kind of feeling, but I just nobody wants to talk to Manny, at least. If anybody knows who this turncoat is, the clan is keeping it quiet. So
I see. No, I mean, her main focus right now is finding Tulip. So, have you had any kind of breakthrough with that?
she's not in the city, and she's not in Portland. So wherever she is, it's out of state.
Interesting.
But all our avenues have pointed to her leaving Oregon entirely.
I mean, I don't know her that well, but is that unusual?
Tulip?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Manny puts down the Ziploc bag and he puts the spork on top of it. Yeah, man, like, as far as I know of Tulip, like, she's always been, like, she came from New York. That's where me and her first linked up together, but once we met each other here, like, we knew that this was a good place to be and that, we could lay low and not be getting into any kind of trouble, people. But yeah, she's never talked about, like, going somewhere else, somewhere. She might have gone to California, but I don't know if she knows anybody out there. She didn't tell me or Melvin, so. But Otis clears his throat. So, I appreciate the information, Mr. Keller, and I appreciate the vote of confidence, Miss Larson.
So, there are a couple more things. First of all, because of this setback, are you stepping back, or
No, there is
No?
no stepping back.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like you're course committed by this point.
Yeah, I stepped back the first time I went up against Hyde, and I shouldn't have. I should have stuck to my guns and pushed. I'm not going to make the same mistake again.
Fair. So, you were wondering of a space where you would know where he's going to be. Well, I know one. And I have complete control over it.
Okay.
It is Elysium. But it doesn't seem to be the first time that would have happened.
It makes it tricky if it's Elysium.
It does.
And even if he or members of his court have broken Elysium before, I won't stoop to that level.
Fair.
I can't be seen to, as much as I have started to use his own tactics against him, I will not break a tradition. Especially if it's something that his allies can use against me when I take Prince from him.
Understood. So the next best thing is knowing when he might be going through certain areas to get there or to leave.
that worth its weight in gold.
Well, I will be coordinating the security with the sheriff.
Will you now?
I will. Funny that.
Well then. If that information should happen to find its way to us, I'm sure that nothing bad could happen.
I'm sure. Nothing.
What a safe Elysium he is going to have.
Of course. I would not host anything else.
And being Elysium, would this event be open to every kindred in the city?
Well, of course. Isn't that what it's supposed to be? I have heard nothing different.
Let's play the odds then, Miss Larson. You would be brave enough to carry a proclamation back to his council and his sheriff.
I think it would depend on the proclamation.
I think it should be established and shared that you have come across information that Otis King himself will be at your Elysium.
Interesting. You know, defending yourself would be a very easy thing to defend in any court.
Correct. If he wants to make a move, then we'll use that to be his undoing.
Agreed.
Otherwise, once Elysium is over and he goes to leave, the second he leaves Elysium's safety, his life is forfeit.
There's another piece of information that you might find interesting.
Oh. You are just a veritable gift giver. Christmas camaraderie.
Well, you know, tit for tat.
Obviously.
We happened to come across an interesting bar that had an interesting little push out that we checked out. And does the name Alfred, what's his name? Beckett mean anything?
Alfred Beckett was one of the sheriff's whips.
Mm-hmm.
I was under the understanding that he disappeared after the Elysium event of...
yes, evidently staked into a wall.
Staked into a wall.
Well, they plastered around him anyway.
Interesting.
He is no longer in said wall.
Oh. It'd be interesting to see where his allegiance lies then.
Yes. And these three, and she takes the photo out, were seen in the bar giving probably a monetary bribe to the bartender.
Interesting. I believe that Melvin and his coterie have been looking for these guys, so this might be good information to pass on to him.
Good to know.
This?
Yes, I have other copies.
Perfect. And he hands it to Coulson. I appreciate this, Ms. Larson.
Yes. I believe Alfred is going to be getting in contact with us. If there's anything you'd like us to tell him.
I think if he does not feel at home, or if he's not welcome back, that I have plenty of space, plenty of opportunity for growth here. on my side of things.
Depending on what he says, I will pass that along.
Perfect.
He obviously needed to do some restauranteering.
Understood.
Before he was fit company.
I imagine he might have worked up quite the thirst. But he extends his hand out to Carl. Then he extends his hand out to Ivory. I appreciate the visit and the peace of mind that you have brought.
Of course.
Well, as soon as I know anything else, I will pass that along. And any proclamation that you need me to establish.
I think just the... If anybody asks how you came across this information, I think it is safe to say that Manny and Dimitri could have been seen on the other side of the bridge.
So we were seen at the Red Eye Lounge by the Tremere Permagen, unfortunately. I'm thinking maybe we were summoned. You know, and that's why we were there. For some, let's see, what would be a reason why you would summon us?
I mean, you do have a Nosferatu that isn't part of my retinue. So we can always use Kathy as a piece of bait.
Yes, and we were going to assure you that she was never going to come. Yeah.
Of course.
We were protecting our coterie.
Obviously.
Excellent.
Perfect.
To be able to get this security information, I do need to stay in good with the sheriff.
Obviously. And Green knows that we don't mean him any harm.
Yes, I don't think once something is fait accompli, I do not see him being a problem.
Neither do I. And Manny spears another piece of meat. He's like, if he wants to be sheriff so badly, I'm okay giving it to him once Otis takes over. Like, this has been a lot of stress that I don't really need. Let me tell you what.
Well, that's above my pay grade at the moment, anyway.
And he smiles. Right now. But Otis steps back around his desk, and as Manny gets up to let you out, we're going to shift over to the outside where we lost Mayans. There he is. Welcome back. We're going to shift over to the outside where we get to see Kathy skulking around, as Kathy does, because everybody just thinks it's a good idea to let Kathy do what she wants to do.
Sort of thinking
like we can control it.
But the compulsion to try and find the truth of things just starts to kick in again, and that whole conspiracy board starts to bubble up in the recesses of your mind, and everything that Manny has said to you about Gunther's kind of starts to find itself on little note cards, and you're like putting this mental thread from one pin to another, and as you're walking around, you notice that there is a container that has remnants of a red spray painted X from corner to corner. There's a little bit of leftover um, police tape on a couple of the rods that hold the doors, and immediately your 5 alarms go off, and you're just like, bingo. What do you do in front of this container?
In my Cappy-like fashion,
Mhm.
she would go up to it and rub her fingers across the X and be like, "I found you," and begin to try to use her newfound skills to picklock it or open it.
The the lock is actually a flimsy kind of high school locker lock. So it's very easy to just pull on your potence and just rip it off its hinge. Um, and
See,
there's a
it was unlocked all along.
satisfying click as you rip the bottom circular half from the U shape. And it dangles to the floor, and you swing open the doors, and you notice that there is a stench that hits you, and there is this little bit of dirt that kind of falls away, but you'll notice that there's a couple of 2x4s that have excuse me, uh, pushed the bottom layer, the floor of this container, up about 3 feet. And there's a little step unit in front of it. You can see that there's a couple of shovels to one side. There's a book bag that looks like it's been ransacked. But you'll notice that there are a handful of bodies that look like they've been dug up recently. And in the back of the container, you'll see splayed out almost like Vlad the Impaler. No, there goes Chad again. Bye. Uh, Almost like Chad the Impaler, a very mockery of Jesus Christ on a cross. There is this decomposing body, um, male from the looks of it, um, and it looks like they whoever did this to him went through his stuff because it's sitting on a folded towel at the base of his feet. The
And I go
bodies,
up and
the bodies that are dug up as you kind of walk towards him, you'll notice that they are incredibly well preserved. Like someone went through the trouble of preserving these bodies, uh, and the first couple of faces, you get the feeling that you've seen somewhere. Um, but as you kind of get to him and look around, all of the bodies that are dug up are missing persons. People that have never been found, going back maybe 5 or 6 years. The guy who was impaled, who's been crucified, uh, does not look like one of the missing persons, but his body, because of the condition of the container, because of the weather getting colder, like his decomposition is slowing down, and is slow to begin with. But he looks like he was in great pain when he was murdered.
now you said there was stuff at the bottom of it.
Mhm.
Any type of IDs,
Yeah, there's a
addresses.
wallet.
Ooh, I open it.
There's a wallet. There's still the money inside of it.
I take the money.
All right, it's $36. Um, the address is on the other side of the bridge. It's in Salem proper. It's over um, it's over by Hayesville. up north. His name is Sean Eastworm.
That sounds like a fake name. I try to, like, with my toe, move the bodies to see, like, the type of clothes that they're wearing, to see if it's within fashion of the current. You said it was like 5 or 6 years, but does
Yeah.
any of it look like maybe it was bought from, like, Goodwill back then?
Uh,
Like, poor
a
condition.
lot of them, yeah. A lot of none of them look like they were. They had their finger on the pulse of fashion. A lot of it is like blue collar looks, just kind
Okay.
of um, working men's uniforms, things like that.
I'm gonna pick up the wallet and put it in my back pocket.
Okay.
This guy in front of me, you said that he's in Jesus-like fashion?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to undo the clasps to let him fall.
Okay. It's not hard. Um,
Yeah. Gonna take him with me.
Yep. He just collapses to the ground.
Awesome. I'm going to attempt to take him with me.
Okay, sure. Coming into the container will satisfy your compulsion. So this new mystery that's sitting here in front of you will very happily eat up your compulsion to find something, because you found it. There is something that happened here, and that for some reason Otis and his coterie have not done anything about.
And it's dead bodies. Like, why would they have random dead bodies of missing persons? And why is this guy impaled? Obviously, he's important, and he is coming with me. So as I'm, like, trying to pull him around me, I'm also pulling on the shadows so I can sneak back out. I'm gonna figure out what the fuck to do with this body, but we're gonna figure it out.
Sure. By the time that you get back to the car, Ivory and Carl are coming down and coming out into the area. Are you gonna let yourself be seen?
Yeah, like, as I come up, I'll pop out with his dead body, and I'm holding him like I hold a friend and be like, "Hey guys, look what I found!"
Perfect. Like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yep, we can have Bernie's. And I'm like,
Perfect.
did you find what you were finding?
That's an interesting souvenir. Where'd you get that?
And I point to the back. I'm like, back there. Did you find Otis by any chance? Did you
We did.
Oh,
yes.
where is he? I have questions.
I think I do too.
I wave him and I'm like, hi,
I mean,
this is my
is it
friend
really that
Eastwood.
surprising that there's dead bodies in a vampire's haven? I mean, really?
So I look to Carl and I'm like, can't you do something with this? And I like move his hand and be like, he has blood still.
Sure. Let's do it.
And I like throw him on the ground. I like launch him out. I hand Ivory the wallet. I'm like, this is probably like a fake ass name. There was no money in there, just so we're clear.
Maybe we should do this on the property where we're about to get a friend or whatever he is now. Like, this takes time. It's not gonna be like this snap judgment thing.
I'm like, cool, awesome. I have is Otis because like, man, no, okay, cool. And I like try to shove him in the car. I'm like, don't worry about it. We won't.
Not inside
the door.
Trunk.
All over your leather.
Yeah.
Trunk.
and the moment you go to open the door to shove the corpse into it, Billy just slams it shut. It's like, no. That thing's not going inside. I'll tell you that right now.
I look at Billy. I'm like, but it's evidence.
That's what the trunk is
And
for.
it will go. Yes. Do we have the tarp in the back? I hope.
We have a tarp. Yeah.
No, the tarp. She said the tarp.
Listen, I've seen, and I point to Carl. I'm like, I've seen him do some shit, and I knew that if I needed answers, I would just have to bring him the body.
Okay.
That's fine, but he's going in the trunk.
Yep. In the trunk he goes. And he unfurls the tarp that you have and throws him in there. And the whole time he is just disgusted by having to manhandle this corpse.
Yeah, Ivory's like trying not to. Well, she didn't have to breathe, but.
And he wraps him up and he just looks at his hands. I'm gonna have to take a shower after this. disgusting.
And I remember,
You
did
get
we
used to
ever
it.
did we find out anything useful from this hunk of junk, or is it just him pretending to be in power again? Like I proceed to take off my shirt.
Okay.
Let's head back and we'll let you know what we found out.
You drive back to the to the club. You share information with each other, I take it?
Yeah.
The minute they tell me something about Tulip, I'm like, all of you are bullshit that you didn't get any more information, but it's cool. It's cool. I have my own avenues. And who's this
She's not in
Nosferatu
the
that
state. That's something.
But, oh, I should mention that I was that Nosferatu, I think.
Are you?
I think so. Am
I
I?
think you would know.
Are you?
Not necessarily.
Have you been giving Hyde information?
Not intentionally, but I have been hanging out with Hyde's.
With who?
Hyde's people. They're Malkavians. They're very nice. They think I'm one of them.
I don't know if that counts.
Mm.
Well, Annabelle and I have been is that counting? Is that what he's talking about?
I mean, if your mind goes that way, then that's what you think.
That's what I think. I was like, I don't know, but this is what I've been doing. So,
Have you heard of any other Nosferatu in the city?
oh, I wanted to ask you that question, Will, out of character.
Yeah.
I can't remember if the Nosferatu that I was hanging with is there. Was she there? Because there was a Nosferatu there.
There was a male Nosferatu hanging out with the Malkavians, yes.
Yeah, so I give that information.
Oh, maybe that's who they're talking about.
See, this is why I should be a part of your conversation. Sometimes I'm useful.
You walked away.
Yeah, not an us thing. That's you.
But yeah, I'm probably that person. I apologize. That Nosferatu does give out information about where Hyde is. He's been trying to get back in Clan 2. Oh, I do want to go visit him. Like as I say this, I look out the window. I wonder if I could stop by there tonight. That's pretty much it.
But you get back to the club. What do you want to do with this body of
I'm gonna let Chad.
Sean Eastworm?
I'm gonna let Carl take care of that.
Yeah. Where do you want him taken to your place, or
Yes, let's take him to my place.
No.
do they know where that is?
Yeah, you know where my body is, or at least the building is in.
They do now.
Yep. If not before, they do
over
now.
time, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Listen,
Okay.
Kathy has learned very quick that he does some voodoo shit. So if she needs to get anything like answers, she's just gonna bring it to him.
Voodoo shit.
So they probably
My
go over to his place and
Awesome rituals and mathematical formulae.
Voodoo shit.
drop the
shit.
body.
Okay. Is there anything that you guys want to do? It is Friday. Is there anything that you want to do over the weekend, or can we jump to Wednesday then?
I do want to visit the people that we were talking about just now.
Okay. Do you want to take Ivory with you? Are
Yeah.
Are you going to take the
I'll
whole
take
Oh,
Ivory.
coterie?
really?
No, I'm not gonna take the whole coterie. I trust Ivory. I don't trust him.
Okay.
No offense.
There you go.
You just up and disappeared and left me.
We
I'm gonna take my new
bonded.
BFF.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna introduce her to Annabelle. So yeah.
Okay. So we'll say that Carl is left at the apartment with the body then, and you start getting to work on Sean.
Sure.
Is this going to be like the next night?
No. It'll take some time to work on Sean. We can still jump to Wednesday after you're done with the with Annabelle and the other Malkavian. But if you follow the craziness that is Kathy, you're taken to an apartment building, kind of not lower class, but definitely like lower middle class. It's down in the southern part of Salem itself. It's over not too far from like what's it called? Bush's Pasture Park, like south, almost at South Central Park. the athletic field down there, kind of off of Electric Avenue. And you'll notice that there's two women kind of hanging out in the apartment, and there is a gentleman who looks like he is a survivor of third-degree burns. He's kind of sitting there. He's got this white and blue pinstripe New York Yankees jersey. He's got the blue New York cap. And the moment that the door opens and he sees that it's Kathy and somebody else, like, he brings the brim of the hat forward and he kind of slumps down in the sofa. But Annabelle looks at you and she smiles. Kathy, right? Right? Am I right? It's Kathy. And she starts frantically looking through her notebook. Assuming we lost.
Yeah.
Yes. He's frantically looking to fix something.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm
That's
here.
right. Yeah. The Annabelle, when you walk in, she kind of points to you. She's like, Kathy. Right?
And I'm like, "Yeah, baby," and I go up and I give her a big hug.
Okay. Yeah, and she grabs her notebook and she puts a check mark by your name.
I like, this is my friend Ivory. I thought we could do a girls' night.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you.
And she writes down Ivory in her notebook, and she's like, yeah, it's nice to meet you too. And she points, and the other woman kind of stops what she's doing, and she kind of sits there waiting, and Annabelle goes, that's Leslie. And Leslie nods. Very good. And she comes over. I'm Leslie Thatcher. It's nice to meet you.
It's good to meet you too.
And you notice that she doesn't extend her hand or anything. She kind of just keeps her hands on top of one another in front of her, and by her belly button. And she kind of looks over at Kathy. So we weren't expecting you. Is everything okay?
Kathy does what she normally does. She like sits on the couch. She's like, no, I'm just here to hang out with Annabelle for a little bit. Where's the other Nosferatu? I was expecting to see him.
He's right there. He's on the couch next to you.
Oh, I didn't know he was there. I'm sorry, I missed that part when I was trying to put my stuff back. I sit next to him and I go, hey, old man. And I like kind of pat him on the shoulder, like, how you been?
He leans away from you. Yeah, hey.
I'd be like, I want to introduce Ivory, because if I can't check in on Annabelle and, make sure she's doing all right, I want to make sure that Ivory can, because she's a close friend of mine and she's amazing. And I pointed, like, as he looks around, like, other Nosferatu. I'm like, isn't they cool?
It's very nice to meet you.
Yeah, hey, nice to meet you too.
I'd be like, hey, I have a question for you. Did you hear about the clan? Or anything about the clan? I've been trying to find the clan.
Yeah. Like I said the first time we met, I'm not part of the whole separation of church and state.
Yeah, I know that. But apparently everyone up and dipped. I was like, oh my god, can you believe that? As a Malkavian, I was like, Nosferatu don't have anything, right? And I start acting all...
Yeah, sure, yeah, whatever, kid.
And that's pretty much how I spend my night. I'm like trying to get Ivory to like get like details of this guy so she can give it away.
He looks like he doesn't want anything to do with Kathy. But Annabelle
Noted.
Comes over, and you see that she has 3 notebooks that she always keeps by her. And anytime that she's asking Kathy anything, she'll always go to refer to one of her notebooks. One is for places, one is for people, and one is for things.
Okay. I don't think Ivory's been around a lot of Malkavians. She knows something about them, but other than the Primogen meeting him, she probably hasn't been around many.
Yeah.
So she's just kind of watching and trying to get some social cues of what's going on.
Yeah.
Because she knows that there's issues.
Yeah. 100%. Annabelle is completely different from Leslie. Leslie. Whereas Annabelle looks like she's writing things down. Leslie looks like she's trying to keep her distance. Every so often, like she'll do something, stop, and then you see her playing a game of what looks to be hot potato with herself, where under her breath she's counting to 20. And then she just kind of looks at certain places on her walls, and she'll kind of start at one place, go to another, and she's muttering something under her breath, but she does like a full one place, one spot, turns 90 degrees, one spot, does another thing, turns 90 degrees, and then the last time she just kind of like relaxes, but she becomes very rigid after having certain triggers that set her off. To Kathy, this is nothing new. Leslie is definitely the weirder of the pair of Malkavians. Annabelle's derangement is subtle, much more subtle.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Ivory knows what OCD is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It is not big in 84.
No, it was not.
No. That's why she's weird.
She's just watching, and she might catch on to some of it. I don't know. But with Annabelle, it's kind of, she doesn't remember things well. That makes sense. Yeah. So.
But yeah.
Yeah, you're muted.
You trying to say something?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, he the Annabelle and Leslie kind of always are opposite of each other, whereas Annabelle is happy to sit next to Kathy. Leslie does her best to keep her distance from people. And even when the guy gets up to kind of shift from the energy that is Kathy and Annabelle together, he kind of just beelines for a seat close to the window and forces Leslie to kind of counter cross to not be touched in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. I think Ivory does invite them all, make sure that they know about the Elysium and the new club.
Yeah. And Annabelle, you'll notice, will grab her notebook of things, and she flips through it frantically. She's like, yeah, Elysium. Yeah. That's where we all get to meet each other.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that.
And it's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be at my club, and we're just going to be opening next week for the first time.
Nice. Yeah.
So anytime you want to stop by, Kindred are very welcome.
Okay. And we're allowed to feed there?
Allowed to what?
Feed?
Sorry.
Feed there?
Very discreetly.
Okay.
No bodies.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Okay, and you see that she writes down the name of your club in the places, and then makes a note: no bodies, discreet feeding.
We're having some issues tonight.
Yep. Yep. But the guy just kind of like looks not mad, but definitely like he has dealt with this situation too many times. Like there's a exhausted kind of aura around him.
What about the situation seems to cause him issues?
Kathy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. But Annabelle and Kathy talk for a little bit, and finally Leslie kind of gets to the point where she's like, "Okay, well, I think it's getting late now, so I think it'll be better if everyone goes to their respective havens." And
well, thank you for your hospitality.
yeah, of course. And she looks at the guy. I'm sorry I couldn't help you with your situation. He's like, "Hey, it's all right. I'll be here. I'll be here tomorrow or the day after, so it's okay." And she's like, "All right, I'll see what I can do." And he nods.
Are you having an issue?
Yeah, no, it's just I hear things about Malkavians, so I stick around, see if something happens.
She looks confused.
Yeah, visions. They see things.
Mm.
But all right, thanks, Les. And he leaves. And Annabelle just kind of gives Kathy a hug, and then they escort you out.
Okay.
But now, if there's nothing else, we'll jump to Wednesday. So, what does Carl want to get out of Sean Eastworm's body?
Oh, so first of all, yeah, blood type. Yeah, is he human? Was he on another creature of any kind? Ghoul.
He was human.
Any vampire blood in him?
Small traces of it. Not enough to ghoul. Not enough to ghoul, but definitely somebody fed him something, or he fed on somebody.
Enough to tag it on somebody.
Is there a role involved?
I mean, that's in blood ritual, right? At least that. Maybe walk the sire's path. Wrong thing.
We're figuring out about.
I can't get my office back together.
Yeah. Let me just go to the blood rituals on my PDF here.
We're about to do the blood ritual on Erickson, whatever his name is.
On Eastworm,
yeah. Did you figure out anything about Annabelle? I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, she's weird.
There it is.
Okay. But I showed you the other Nosferatu.
All right, take your notes again.
Yeah, that he's looking for visions from Malkavians. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But now if I die, you have contact.
What level ritual is it?
Should be it's level 1. I don't think I have anything at level 2 yet.
Okay.
It's like walk the sire's path or something like that.
Yeah.
Blood path. This thing would load.
Blood walk?
Blood walk. There you go.
Okay. So the user mixes their blood with the subjects, repeats the incantation. A win on the ritual roll allows the user to learn generation and name of the subject as well as the subject's sire. Critical win also informs the user of the blood bonds active on the subject. Right. So it won't work for generation or sire because he's not a vampire.
Right.
But as far as the blood bond, it'll definitely be a thing. What is the ritual? It is blood sorcery. plus intelligence. Okay.
Yeah,
I have
something
about
it's an actual role that I can do,
Yeah,
as
boy.
as opposed to like athletics.
Yeah, right. Intelligence 4. Blood sorcery 3. You are at hunger 1. Not a bad roll for you. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Okay. Uh, he has the blood of a vampire in him. Oh, here. Uh, he has the blood of Kamila Borovka.
Camila Barovka.
Borovka.
Barovka. Does that name ring a bell?
It is one of the known anarchs in the city.
we should check it out.
And his name was what again?
Sean Eastworm.
And I guess I'll do medicine on him to see how he what was done to him, how he actually died.
It looks like, given the puncture wounds around his body, it looks like he was stabbed to death. But given the pained expression on his face, it wasn't a surprise or a quick death.
So slow stabbing.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Messy way to go.
Mm-hmm. But also none of the wounds are stained with the kind of stains you would imagine the stabbings to have accomplished.
Does it look like he was drained?
It does. There's very little blood left in him.
Alright. See if I can do anything else with this guy. I guess I'll try to provoke a vision via Auspex to see if I can see his final moments. See if I can catch a vision of his killer.
Oh. Okay. What happens? You. Not bad. Not great. But there's no bad rolls apparently for you guys. It's hazy. It's been a while since he died. So you've got a bit of the kind of mist and fog that comes with the extended period of time that the memory was alive. And as you pierce through some of the fog, you see images of him looking at a woman, a young-looking woman, short. She's standing by a Volkswagen bus, like a little one of those Volkswagen trucks. And it's outside the Albatross. And coming out first, you'll notice Marcus, and next to him is Melvin. And you'll see the three of them kind of exchange cordial, what looks like goodbyes. And then Melvin will get into the driver's seat and drive off. And as the guy turns around, there is this imposing figure that you recognize from when you first arrived in Salem and met the kind of ruling council. This is Joshua. What's his name? Let me get. Here we go. This is Joshua Allens. He was the Gangrel Primogen.
Is he still around?
No, he left.
Or he left.
Yeah, he left maybe a couple months ago. It was one of the first times that the rumors of the Sabbat coming to the city had started to circulate, because a name got thrown around that was attached to him, and he ended up leaving, kind of draw them out of the city, which it worked, because nobody else saw the person that they had been talking about after he left the city.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I know I'm not like a medical forensic person, but like maybe try to see if there's any other bodies that showed up, like with this kind of wound pattern or anything like that, or like slow stabbing deaths. Just out of curiosity, like in the papers or whatever.
Not at all. And after having the vision, you notice that you go from thinking that he was ice picked to death to knowing that he was clawed to death. Somebody used their claws to actually poke him and drain him that way. This was a violent death.
Right. Violent, slow death. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, that's definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That Otis would have had the gangrel, or a potential gangrel, kill this guy. I wonder why.
Yeah.
All right. I guess when we get back together, I'll relay the info to the group.
Okay.
Along with my what the hell.
Yeah. So Wednesday night, we jump forward to Wednesday, where Ivory will wake up to Billy standing there with a new gentleman, and this is Benjamin Culver. And Kathy will wake up to the cold sensation of somebody sleeping next to you, and immediately hear the voice of that entity in your ear. I found her for you, like you wanted.
All right, guys, it's been nice knowing you. She kind of like rolls over, stretches. I was like, all right, so where is she?
She's not in the city. And you feel the coldness kind of move away from you.
That was about as helpful. That's not an answer! I asked where she was, not where she's not.
I want another memory, then.
No. See, you didn't hold up on your side of the deal. My question to you... I said find her and give me the information.
And I did give you the information.
Not in the city is not an answer. That is the opposite of that. That is a, you know what? Fine, whatever. And like she rolls over and be like, I'm done with your nonsense. I'm done with your nonsense. You have done nothing. And she proceeds to try to walk out the door.
Yeah, he lets you. I guess you don't want to find her then.
I hate you so much. Is she in danger?
No. But I know where she is.
And you're telling me that if I give you another remedy, you will tell me exactly where she is.
Yeah.
Down to the present location of this very moment.
I don't know where she is now, but I know where she was yesterday.
Oh my god. She's not in this city. Realistically, I'm not gonna be able to find her.
And you feel the fingers just kind of like sliding over your shoulders, kind of in that very kind of just like you're
The
so
way that I was like,
tense.
nope.
So
I don't need to be
tense.
rape fucked. She literally says this. Ivory!
I'll be
I don't need
here
to
when
be
you're
rape fucked by
ready.
another. You're an asshole, and like she's trying to she's like, you're an asshole. I don't need to be touched by you people anymore. I am done with your nonsense. I don't need it. I don't want it. I like my memories. Go fuck yourself. And she's like, and I should have never done a deal with you. And she slams the door. Ivory!
Yeah.
I'm gonna burn down your fucking club!
And you see that in the middle of Benjamin's introduction, like he's rattling off his CV to you. You just hear, Ivory! I'm gonna burn down your fucking club! And he just stops. That must be your Nosferatu friend that I was warned about.
Yes, it is. Just give me just a moment.
Of course.
Please make yourself at home.
Him and Lily go behind the bar.
And like, as this happens, Ivory, this fucking thing puts his hands on me again. I am gonna burn it down! And she like holds the door closed. Because she knows it's futile, but she's not dealing with race anymore. Not after the whole nonsense that happened to her brother. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
I've learned my lesson.
So the door is closed?
Yeah.
So she'll knock.
No answer.
Kathy?
And like she pushes it open and be like, that thing!
There's nothing in the room except the cat. Just meow.
Well, my new associate, Mr. Carver, has arrived.
Kathy pokes her head in. Is it gone?
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Oh, you were really gonna take another memory from me? Hell no. That was such bullshit. Alright.
How much is knowing where Tulip is worth to you?
I have waited 3 weeks! That's okay. I'll find her some other ways.
Yeah.
I know she's not in the city. He said okay, just to confirm. She said he's not in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not in danger.
She's not in danger. Not as of yesterday when he left her.
I hate you so much.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the Thunderdome.
And like she closes the door and is like, alright, that's it. I'm gonna fucking do this the old fashioned way. And like she proceeds to go downstairs and oh no, I don't know. She looks up every like I don't even know where to start. She's just mumbling to herself as she goes downstairs.
Okay. As you go downstairs, you see that Carl has arrived at the bar, at the club.
She doesn't even notice him. She keeps mumbling to herself about how the fuck she's gonna find Tulip.
Okay.
Yeah. Ivory goes back over to what's his name again?
Benjamin Culver.
Culver. Okay. Mr. Culver. Sorry about that.
No.
That was Kathy.
Understandable. I was warned before time, Miss Lawson. But yeah, he's looking at the bar, how you got it laid out, and he's just taking notes. And you see Carl climbing up the stairs.
And this is one of my other associates. This is Carl Keller.
The new guy waves his
Carl,
hand.
this is Mr. Culver.
No. Good
Pleasure to
enough.
make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you as well.
Ivory would have told you, I think you missed some of this. She would have told you that her sire was sending someone to help out with some of the investigations.
Oh, okay. And what could he bring?
You hear crashing downstairs because she's throwing shit now, trying to get like the white phone book.
Billy hops over the bar. I'll get this one.
Thank you.
He jogs downstairs.
Billy gets so many bonuses. Anyway,
But Benjamin just kind of like nods. Mr. Keller, I come prepared from Miss Lawson's sire. So I've been in the game quite some time now. This is my 20th year as a ghoul, so I understand the ins and outs of things.
Okay. Excellent. What's your specialty?
Culinary arts
Okay.
and gardening, but I am skilled. I was an investigator for Scotland Yard.
Ah, I see.
excellent. So were you informed of what's been going on here?
Lightly. I don't know everything, but what fun would that be? I know that you need assistance, someone of my caliber, so
Yes.
I'm at your disposal.
So there are a couple of things that I would appreciate your help with. The biggest being finding out exactly what happened to the former prince.
Understood.
We have a few leads, but so far we haven't been able to put them together and figure out whether she was actually killed or whether she is staked somewhere.
The prior should be easier to prove than the latter.
Yes. Mr. Jones says that he did not feel her death. So
That gives us something to work with. When did she disappear?
and she'll give all the details about what happened.
He listens to it while he mixes a drink for himself. Gin and tonic with a little liberty here and there. And then he comes around the bar. And then he gives you every detail that was important to him. Back. You never saw him write anything down.
Okay.
But he goes down the list of the important details.
Yeah. Also gives him the list of addresses that they got from the book.
Understood.
And so these might be addresses to check out. We've looked at these.
Right.
And
Will I be escorting you through this investigation, or will I have freedom to roam on my own?
which do you think would work better in your expertise?
Well, if I'm on my own, I'll need some kind of firearm, and then perhaps a vehicle. If I'm accompanying you on this escapade, I will probably only need the firearm just in case. Something with stopping
That
power.
can definitely be taken care of.
but I feel like with someone like from the little bit that I've seen of your boy Billy, we can handle ourselves. Are the three of you effective in combat? Or
We tend to avoid that if we can.
understood?
Not our greatest forte. Know your strengths, correct?
I assume that Billy is, though.
Yes. And you would be able to go places we can't.
Mm-hmm. Very well.
So anything you can find out about that would be very helpful.
Oh.
Is there anything else that we want him to look into?
Can't think of anything offhand.
The what?
I said I can't think of anything offhand.
I mean, we only have about 50 open thread things.
Oh,
I
no.
know, but yeah.
But this one is, it'd be really nice if we could have this before the Elysium. That would, so this is the most important, I think.
Yes, very well.
Why dilute his efforts?
I'll pick up a phone book and start making some phone calls then. If you excuse me. And you see him take a sip of his drink and he
Of course.
goes over to the office. Where does Billy find Kathy?
She's downstairs making a mess, and like she's like cursing up a storm.
Mhm.
She's already thrown a couple things at a wall.
Yeah.
Like, cause she's basically what she's gonna do. She's gonna try and call back this fucking entity thing, cause like she's looking through like she's desperate, and the way that she responds to that is aggravation,
Mhm.
and she wants to find Tulip more than ever because she feels abandoned.
Yeah.
So like, and so she looks up and she's like, "Fine, I'll give you a fucking memory."
And immediately you hear the voice behind you. I knew you would come around.
Fuck you.
Make it a juicy one.
I don't even know what juicy ones I would have. So she gives a memory of when she was young.
You feel like you start to find a memory for him. And then you feel the hand kind of push past your skin and your cranium and actually touch your brain. And you can feel almost like the fingers kind of like on a Rolodex, just kind of rolling. It is unsettling. And he's like, no, oh, this one. And you're forced into the memory of your trial. What day do you think would have been juicy enough for him to pull from?
My trial?
Didn't you have a trial for the murder of your husband?
Oh, I did. I thought you meant like the trial with the when we first got with Hyde.
No, that's not juicy.
It would probably be when she would probably have to give it when he, because remember that when she had her kid, it wasn't. It was a very forceful act upon her, and that would probably have been the most devastating memory that she could have.
Okay, so he'll force you to relive it.
Oh, lovely!
And then
rape is lovely to be lived.
And then he will take it from you.
Cool.
And you hear him kind of making this noise like he is enjoying the vision. And then you feel the whole room get cold. And immediately Billy's like, all right, I'm a step away from this.
Smart man.
And everything kind of is pushed away from you very poltergeisty. Sofas, the chairs, the tables are all kind of pushed away to create this central circle, and you feel his hands just kind of like coming down your head on either side of you, coming down your shoulders on the side of your arms. And then when he gets down to your fingers, he grabs your hands in his, and you see through his eyes this strange visage of a city. It is both there and not there. It is the first time that you've ever been allowed to see a necropolis from the underworld. You can see these massive walls that make it look like almost like the city is a concentration camp. There are massive storm clouds around, and you can just hear this hurricane of a whistle, constant droning in the background. You can hear screams that crescendo like thunder, and then roll into another kind of chorus of people screaming. It is a horrendous place. And then you are pulled from this black and white, muted visage into a high vantage point. You are somewhere above, looking at an entire city sprawled out in front of you. Colors, noise, people. You are on some kind of observation deck. You can see the reflection of the person that you have shunted yourself into as you are experiencing this guy's feelings, his vision. And as you look out across the city, you recognize the reflection of Tulip. And she is fearful of the height that you're at. You see her kind of pushing herself up on her tippy toes to look out towards the city, and the reflection of the person that you've infiltrated suddenly locks eyes with her and the reflection, and then turns, and you see her straight on, and she's wearing this pastel pink blouse, this beautiful cross thatch black and white sweater, this long pleated skirt, sensible kind of small heeled, kind of like the precursor to wedges kind of thing, kind of shoe. And her hair is pulled down in front of her, but the majority of it is kind of tied back. At least the top part of it is tied back with this little pink simple bow of silk, and then it kind of cascades. Some of it cascades down her shoulders to where the first button is of her blouse, and the rest of it's kind of back behind her. And as she smiles at the person that you're looking at her through, you see her fangs elongate, and she just lunges forward, and the vision ends. And the guy pulls himself away from you, and you just feel the hands around your neck from behind you. And although there's no breath on your ear, you can feel that sensation of creepiness as he goes, "She's not that far away. in Seattle. Thank you for your memories. And you feel the hand just kind of like slowly pull itself away from your neck, and the coldness starts to evaporate from the room.
She's in a necropolis in Seattle?
And she's in Seattle.
In a necropolis.
Well, the necropolis is what you saw of the Shadowlands.
Oh.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
But while all of that is happening, Ivory and Carl will see Billy come back up, and he's like, "There's some spooky shit going on downstairs, ma'am. It got really cold all of a sudden, so I thought it better to just let it have a moment."
Fair.
The minute that this happens, Kathy's like, I need to go. I need to go. Billy!
And he looks over the railing downstairs. Is everything done down there? You done being spooky?
I need you to give me a ride. We're gonna go to Gunther's.
What?
What?
Gunther's? Whatever his name is.
Back there?
Yeah, I gotta go see a friend.
Ma'am, and he looks at Ivory.
Give me a minute. And she'll head down.
Yeah.
What's going on, Kathy?
I gotta go see Manny. She looks like dead on. She doesn't care if anyone's in. She's like, I need to see Manny. Now. Like, now. Like, Billy!
Okay. Calm down. Do you want me to go with you?
Nope. Mm-mm, not for this one. You got guests, and I need to see Manny because it has to do with. And she points to her. She's like trying to make like things
A
with her hand.
flower?
Yep. Like she's like this. And she's like
So this is about Tulip.
tulips, the ones you ordered.
Yes.
Because I know she.
It's okay. He knows everything.
Move.
It's fine.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She's in Seattle.
That was great.
Huh.
So can we take a trip?
Well, I'm about to open my club.
Exactly. I need to go see Manny because Manny has the resources to get out there, and she's not in trouble, but she's going to be. And like she begins to like go on this rant of what she saw, and because it's intermixed, you know how like sometimes you see something, but then like it gets cross merged, so now she's like cross merging everything. So in her head, Tulip's in danger, even though she's not, but she's cross mixing the two images, you know. And she's just giving out this mumble jumble, and as she's doing it, she's like also trying to like sketch it out on like the nearest piece of paper so she can give it to Manny so he can go find her. And mind you, she also
Hang
mutters,
on
"This
just
fucker's
a
not
minute.
taking this memory."
Hang on just a minute. And she'll go upstairs and she'll talk to Billy. First of all, we need to get Mr. Culver the firearms he needs.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can get with him and see what he wants. And would you mind taking Kathy over to Gunther's?
Immediately.
Thank you.
And he goes over, he grabs a jacket, comes downstairs. All right, crazy pants, let's go.
And she like books it as she's still drawing. Can I ask a question? Well,
Yeah.
The memories that I'm lacking, would I notice it in Annabelle?
No.
It's not the same, right?
No.
Never mind. Okay. She gets
Because
in the car.
Annabelle cleans the slate every night.
That's why I'm wondering if she gives it up every night.
Yeah, no. She doesn't. She didn't give them up. Like she doesn't give up her memories. They're taken from her. You gave up a memory, and the way it works systematically is that he forgets, whereas you literally had somebody use a wraith power to steal your memory.
Want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay.
Yeah.
She gets in the car.
So that's why you, as hard as you try to remember what was taken, you will always come up to a blank hole. There's just a gap. Because your memory, for all intents and purposes, doesn't exist anymore.
You've been deleted.
Yeah. There's a reason why that power is started a whole guild war.
Ivory starts cleaning up the mess that Kathy made.
Okay.
And that was the other thing she wanted Culver to do.
Mhm.
Since he worked for Scotland Yard, help her make sure, and she writes this down, that there are no bugs in the club.
Oh.
And if there are, don't take them. I need to know where they are, and then we need to decide what to do about them.
Good.
You had also wanted to place your own.
Yeah, but we'll do that in a minute.
Okay. So, as you're kind of getting to know Benjamin, as Carl's letting you know what he found with Sean, and as Kathy is being taken to go see Manny about her sire, I think this is a good point to call it for tonight. As always, I want to thank you guys for being participating and helping me build the story together collaboratively. And of course, I want to give you guys a chance to plug whatever you're into. So let's start with you, Carl. What are you up to, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
You can find me on Twitter, etc. on Xanathicus. Right now, basically, besides here, still doing the Movie Bros podcast, so we've taken a bit of a break, but we should get started again soon, hopefully.
Okay.
With this whole move thing, it's been a bit of a challenge getting going again.
Yeah, I get you. Ivory, what are you up to, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Well, I have a Instagram that has a lot of landscape pictures, things under the name Lockgen. And yeah, that's pretty much about it right now.
Okay. And Kathy, what are you up to, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Nowhere.
Don't go looking for me. Yeah, I get you. I guess like that, so it's fine. But yeah, thank you guys for following me along in this crazy journey, and thank you, the audience, for participating and helping us kind of watch this whole drama unfold. As always, please know that it is okay to not be okay. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. If you're watching live, we take mental health on the channel seriously, very seriously. So if you're watching, there's phone numbers going up in our Twitch chat. That'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not in the United States, or if you don't deal well with phones, there's a link going up, findahelpline.com. Very fantastic. It'll help you find the resources in the areas closest to you, especially if you're not in the United States. There's a lot of great resources out there. Mental health is part of our general health, and we need to take care of ourselves. And that starts with realizing that there's a problem, And if you know that there's a problem, if you think there's a problem, there's resources out there so you can get the help that you need. There are people who want to help you, and they're available in many different formats. So please take care of yourselves if you feel like you need it. As always, Mondays are for Vampire the Masquerade. Tuesdays are for alternating between Werewolf of the Wild West or Legend of the Five Rings. Right now, Thursdays are on hiatus as I am running an Old Gods of Appalachia miniseries on McStabber Studios, which started last week. It's going to be a hell of a time, I'll tell you that right now. And if you want to see me be a player, every Wednesday you can catch me on their Vampire the Dark Ages campaign. We're going through the Transylvania Chronicles, and I get to play a lovable scamp of a Lasombra who's never done anything wrong and just got up to Tenebration 4, so I can't be held responsible for the war crimes that I'm about to commit.
Lasombra did nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's
Nothing. I'm the child of Moncada. What could I possibly do wrong that I can't be overshadowed by my sire? So I hope you guys have had a good time. I hope that you, the audience, have had a good time, and we will see you when we see you. Please have a good night and take care of yourselves. Bye.